Okay, good afternoon class. So today we're looking at quadratic equations and inequalities. So now we're looking at the example on page 26. And this is for exercise 2.3 on page 27. Okay. They say each of the following trinomials, or write each of the following trinomials in the form of ax squared plus q. Ax squared plus q. Okay. So let's look at the first one. Number 1. We've got x squared plus 2x plus 3. Now when we did completing of the square, what did we look at? In the previous exercise, we only had the first two terms. Not so. Now we have a third term here. Okay? Okay. So, again we're going to work with the first two terms. So we say, okay, x squared plus 2x plus a number to complete the square root. No? Now, in the previous question, with the previous exercise, they just asked what must be added to each of the following to make a perfect square trinomial. So they are giving you, they want to know that number there. Can you see that? In the red. In that case, in those two cases. However, in this sum here, they don't want to know the number. So in other words, in mathematics, if we add something to the sum, we would have to take it away again. Because in mathematics, we don't change the value of anything. Okay, we only simplify. That's why mathematics is so easy, not so? Yes, okay. So, people, how do we get the third term here? It's going to be b times half, and it must be squared. What's the b value here? 2. So what's 2 times half? 1. And 1 squared is? You see 1 squared minus 1 squared. What's 1 squared minus 1 squared? 0. Then I'm again left with x squared plus 2x plus 3. Do you guys understand? So again, if I add something to an expression, I must take it away again. Like an equation. If I add the number on one side, I must add it on the other side. But what do? When we take a plus over, it becomes a minus. And that is exactly what we do. Do you guys understand? Right. So what is this now to us? Perfect square trinomial. So I actually added this one here to get the perfect square trinomial. Okay? And also remember, when we spoke about these terms here, what did you notice? This was always positive. When you go back to this exercise here as well, what do you notice? The last term is always positive. Because positive squared is positive and negative squared is also positive. That is why for the third term here in the trinomial, it will always be positive. Okay, you guys understand it? So what will this now simplify to be? X plus 1 squared. What's minus 1 plus 3? And there we go. Okay. You guys believe it? So easy. Okay. Any questions? Let's look at number 2. Number 2, we have x squared minus 8x plus 5. X squared minus 8x plus 5. Alright. So we ask ourselves, okay? When we completed the square root, how many terms did we use? The first 2 terms. So that would simply be x squared minus 8x plus a number minus that same number plus 5. Okay. Okay, give me that number. What is going to be added here? What is half times 8, 4. And it must be 4 squared, which is? Okay. If you just want to write 16 there, instead of 4 squared, no problem. Okay. So what did we form here now for ourselves? What is that? Perfect square trinomial. Okay. So what do I get now? Square root of x squared? X. Plus or minus? It will always be the sign of the middle term. So it's minus 4 squared. 4. And it must be all. So what's minus 16 plus 5? Negative 11. Now people, if I must go and multiply the story out, I go and multiply that out. I get x squared minus that times 2. It's going to give me 8x plus 16 minus 11. Gives me x squared minus 8x plus 5. You see it's the same. Okay? So again in mathematics, we don't change the value of anything. Okay? Looks like I'm moving too slow for some of you, no? Let's look at number 3. Is it too warm today? Right, number 3 people. Again we must write it in the form of x plus p squared plus q. That's what they call completing of the square form. Okay? Let's look at number 3. We've got x squared plus 3x minus 7. Again we look at the first 2 terms. Not so. Okay, so with regards to the examples for exercise 2.3, for some reason or other, number 3 didn't come out. I think the phone switched off or my battery was flat or something. So the question says, we must write it in the form of x plus p all squared plus q. Okay? So what happens is, we say it's going to be x squared plus 3x plus a number minus that same number minus 7. And what was this number in this case? Huh? Isn't it b times half and it must be squared? No. So it's going to be 3 times half. What's 3 times half? 3 over 2. Squared. It's going to be 9 over 4. Okay, so what is this for us? Perfect square trinomial. Guys, you guys forgot the stuff already. So it's going to be x plus 3 over 2 and it must be squared minus. So that's going to give you minus 9 minus 28 over 4. It's going to give you 37 over 4. Some of you of course don't want to do the calculation on the side. It's going to be negative 9 over 4 minus 7. Negative 37 over 4. Okay. Any confusion here? No, sir. But you guys have done now exercise 2.3. You see there was no issues. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.